Hey, good morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I hope you're doing well today. I was up way too late last night, and I can't even turn off the music. What are you going to do? Hope you're doing well. It's another day. It's a Thursday. It's what we call 3R Thursday, where we talk about requirements, reviews, retrospectives, because they all have R's in it. So that's what we do. Today, I want to talk about your own personal review. I've been through a few interviews over my career where people asked me to do a presentation about myself, and it's a good thing to have to reflect on. I have some presentations throughout my career. I'm actually going to do a show this weekend, give a little presentation about myself. I'm debating when I want to do my whole career or just a highlight from an agile perspective. Maybe I'll do two versions of it for given different aspects. Where if I did maybe I'll do everything in my career, 80 jobs, and then I'll do what would make sense for a job interview. Because job interview, you maybe get 5-10 minutes to do your presentation. So it's good to do a review for yourself. And I'll add one more thing. I also did it where I was talking to teams and they haven't been documenting stuff. And I know reviews, you got yearly reviews coming up as businesses, as employees, and it's good to have stuff ready. Integrated. Interesting. I got a comment from a LinkedIn user, but it's not telling me who it is, but it says integrated. So that's good. I don't know what that means, but maybe you can give me an extra word in there what you're talking about integrated. But with the review, when you have, what did you do for the year? Having those personal reviews of oneself, self-review, helps you prepare for that. But what I was asking the team to do is just so when you do get asked, what did you do? It's good if you're a developer, tester, or BA, whatever you would be. Every once in a while, when you have those issues in your system, take a snapshot of what you finish and paste it in the comments or whatever. Just document that you were done so you have a snapshot. What you closed out on, what you saw when you left the thing. It's really helpful for everyone who could be working on the product. So anyway, it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. And here in the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, and I'm Greg Mester, by the way. We talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way, so you can bring value to your customer and not work crazy hours to bring that value to the customer and have a little fun along the way. Tomorrow is Fun Friday, where we do a fortune cookie. I have to figure out what the next fun thing to do. And again, that was another thing I did where we said, a good job interview question would be like, okay, facilitate a fun event for the team, right? Just out of the blue. So there is an episode about that. Oh, by the way, thinking of that, I did yesterday launch a couple things. One, I put the newsletter out on the website, on the blog, and LinkedIn that summarized all the shows from last week. And we did start yesterday a newsletter subscription where we're going to do an email newsletter. And part of that will have the summary, have some other stuff, have some insights to some free stuff, free tools and tidbits. I'm making a list of all the potential free items I give to anybody who subscribes to the newsletter. I'm debating whether or not to do a membership for anybody who's a member of the newsletter that allows you to get access to all the material over, because it'll be a lot. Because I know, if I do 52, it'll be 52 in a year, but 52 little free items that you can get access to if you ever wanted to look for them, search for something. Hey, I know Greg put this up as a free thing. What did he do? Be able to go to the page, pick what one you want, and download it so you have it for whatever your activity you're working on. So there we go. Okay, we got someone who's always attending the live stream, but it needs help. Well, reach out to me and we'll talk. So thanks for is it Kirka, I think, and Derek's the last name. So Derek says he's always attending your lives, but I need your help, please. Okay, no problem. Reach out to me in LinkedIn, send me a note, and see what we can do. I'm always open to helping people with what they need. So Now let's talk about this presentation. So, like I said, I worked with somebody, some people they're getting a lot of stuff done, but to help with the transition of the team, I was kind of like, capture what you finish as a developer so that if someone else needs to take the handoff, whether it be another developer or tester or somebody, product owner, whatever, so they can see where you handed off what you were doing from a task or development or a story or whatever subtask. And what I did to help do that, I gave an example because I talked about a documentation, how it's always good to take pictures. I showed 2 slides from one of my old presentations about myself, what I've done over time. And I'm really debating whether or not I want to share a presentation of all the things I've done over the years with the team, just to show that I've done a lot of different things. I'm debating. I don't want to make it look like I'm rubbing in or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to describe how I want to do this and why I want to do this. But it's kind of to help them with their careers, and also why it's good to take snapshots and document as you go. Because if your boss ever comes to you and said, "What did you do?" No problem. And I'm just going to call you Derek until we meet and talk, and then you tell me. Okay, he'll inbox me. Good. Okay, cool. About stuff like that. So one of my things I recommend then is think about, write everything you've done, all your jobs. Like me, I've had over 180 different jobs in different areas, different things over my career. Like when I was a kid, I was a newspaper person, a little newspaper boy or whatever you want to call it. Back in the day, landscaping, whatever. I did everything in the planet almost, except for being like a doctor. I feel like I'm a doctor now. Anyway, I digress. Come up with a presentation, do a little PowerPoint slide or Google Docs, whatever. As you're working along, as long as it's not company specific and something that's proprietary, try to take a screenshot or picture, or recreate it in such a way that it is neutral. So like if you do something for a company, maybe on your own, you recreate a version of it that's not company specific, not content specific, but kind of talks about what you did. Maybe you did the star diagram in databases or something. You grab that little, because I have one of my connections, I helped him out. I said, you know what you should do? Grab a picture of that star topography that you did for your database. And he did that. He said, Greg, that was great. That helped get me jobs because they saw the work he did. And I think also when you talk to managers, when you do database work, they don't realize how complicated and crazy these databases are and how they have all these connections because they don't know. And until he took a picture, I said, well, show that to everyone. He started showing them. And they're like, oh my God, that's so much work. It elevated his game for his job and his career, whether it be internal and external, to be honest with you, because the internal people didn't understand how much work it was until they saw the topography. And when he had to go find a new job, he showed the topography and how complicated it was. And he got another job because of that, right? So build your presentation, build a review for yourself, kind of look at it, maybe present it to a friend or family member if you want, or something like that, and have that available. Do a dry run. How long does it take you to do it? Is it a 10-minute? Is it a 30-minute? Be careful, right? How long is the interview usually? If you have one, between 5 and 10 minutes, 10 minutes being the max, a lot of times companies will ask you to do a presentation. Now, here's one company interview I had. I just want to share this with you. In the interview, they said a presentation. We're going to go through a presentation. They didn't tell me what presentation it was. I interpreted it as they were going to present to me their company and what they do and what they did, which they didn't. Well, I'll be honest with you. I would love to have companies present to us who are interviewing what they do, what they're trying to do, kind of give an overview in a presentation format. That would be freaking awesome. So that's another thing. If you have a team, capture some of the things in the interview. When you're interviewing new people, you want to encourage them to work with you. Maybe do a presentation about what your team does. Will encourage people. I should put that in my HR stuff. I'm doing an HR book. Encourage them to come work for you. It would be nice. Um, but what they were asking for is for me to give a presentation of myself, why they should hire me, something like that. They really didn't go into details. It was pretty cruddy requirements in the interview process. But I ended up doing a little presentation, put something together. So it's always good. So even if you do a presentation that covers your whole career, what's nice about it is you can grab pieces out of that presentation and condense it and use it, reuse the material for whatever job you're put in for. So again, today I just want to emphasize, do a review for yourself, have a little presentation of what you've done over time as you're working, because I'll do a present when I do mine. You'll see pictures of me hanging around on a military base, sitting in the middle of a bunch of aircraft engine containers out in the middle of God, what was the name of the camp? Oh, Cherry Point, North Carolina. And you got Harrier jump jets and helicopters flying over me all the time. But I have some pictures from that. Take some pictures as you go when you're doing stuff. It's great to have, as long as, like I said, as long as it's not proprietary and it's public. One of the nice things I do when I do presentations for groups when I was in corporate, a lot of those presentations for public consumption. The public consumption part had to be approved by the lawyers or legal staff. And the nice thing about that, one, it's approved for public consumption and it's given out in the public. It's now public information. So it's not so bad if you were to use some of that information that you might have to recreate it or take pictures or whatever you got to do, part of your presentation, but at least it's publicly approved. So then you could probably use some of that stuff for your own resume. Be careful though, make sure it is neutralized related to the company. Make sure there's no proprietary stuff in that presentation. But it's great. It's great to have for your own thing. So I wanted to share that with you. It is review. I guess I could do this on Tuesdays where we do 2-for-1 Tuesdays, 10x in your career, talk about this. But I thought it would be interesting just to have a review. Like I said, I kind of demonstrated how taking snapshot of the work I've done over the years as part of the work I do helped me build my resume, build my presentation, help them when they do reviews, yearly reviews with their bosses and show what they did. Because you say, I did this. Well, what does that mean? You have some pictures, some photographs. It helps convey the message, right? So with that, I want to give you the best. I wish you the best. Have happy scrumming. Don't forget, I put out a newsletter last night in LinkedIn, so that should be out there underneath the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I also put it on the blog post. And we have the new email newsletter subscription. If you do register for it, I promise you that I will be giving out nice little free things that you can use, tools, tidbits. I was thinking about an AI thing I could do. I might do some how to pass a test, sample questions, quizzes you might give your teams, layouts of different things. And just in general that you can have, that you can use. Some of the stuff I give in presentations before, some of the stuff I use individually. I might even give one of my early day presentations for a whole agile session that I used to do over 2 days. And then I based on the company, I would pare it down to like a 2-day presentation, a 1-day presentation, a half a day presentation on agile, just to get teams up and running. So I'll probably have different versions of it and share that as well as we go. But again, happy scrumming. Wish you the best. Looking forward to it. If you ever want to send me some presentations of your career, what you do in your review, feel free. Maybe we can do an interview. You can be on the show. I can interview you. You can talk about your career and share with what you have for your presentation with everyone out there in the world. So take care. See you tomorrow, and wish you